Hey, welcome back. My name is speaking so that they can give winning high stakes speeches, whether it's for a job interview, a business or sales meeting, or even at a conference. This is the second part of the pitching series. I did a video on how to pitch. As I mentioned in there, that pitching is an essential skill for success. It's got to start with somebody pitching something. And what is pitching? It's an ask. It's asked with a purpose, provided you've done good amount of homework so that you can craft a rejection-proof pitch. And then I went over all the different steps, and the steps kind of look complicated, but once you start doing it, it'll be very simple. But the main part of it is you have to ask. You have to ask with a purpose, and you have to do your homework. And it has to be targeted to one specific person or an entity. Otherwise, it's not a pitch. Otherwise, you're just like randomly, shooting things all over the place and hope something sticks. That's not really a pitch. Just like when you get something that you're not expecting, you never reply. So that you're not obligated to reply. In this video, I'm going to talk about how would you like somebody to pitch you. Now again, I have to give credit to Joan Stewart, and she has a website called publicityhound.com, or maybe it's called thepublicityhound.com. Check it out, publicityhound.com. As I mentioned in the last video, I watched her webinar that she did on authors on how to pitch different people or entities, bookstores, etc. And she gave some excellent tips on how to pitch, but she also said something about that when you pitch her, she has a website on her website, she has a specific area where she has a guideline on how she likes to be pitched. And I never really thought of that till she mentioned that is good tip she gave, even though I don't think that was a tip she was trying to give on what you should do. She was saying that if you're pitching, see if somebody has a guideline. So if you're good at pitching, you should also be good at processing other people's pitches. At some point, when you're starting out, you may not be that successful, so nobody knows you. But as you get the word out and you start doing things, like for example, I'm going to be coming out with a book in the next few months, and I'm sure once it's out there, somebody is going to try to pitch something to me, maybe to come on their show or give a speech at some event, some kind of a pitch I'm pretty sure I'll get. So before I need to think about it. Before I can reply, I need to think about how do I like to be pitched. So I wanted to make this video so that you can think about it too. Even though right now this may not be pertinent for some people, for some it may be, and they haven't even given much thought to it and waste a lot of time. So one thing you can do, simple thing is, don't do anything. Just have a contact information and let somebody send you a pitch if you want to see whether the person even understands how to pitch. Some people may want to do that, saying, hey, if somebody doesn't know how to pitch, then at least I know that this person hasn't done the homework. Why should I tell the person this is how you should pitch me? If you want to do it, you can do that, and then after somebody sends it, you may then send them point them to another site where they can answer these questions in more detail that you will consider. So that's one approach you can take. The other approach is not to waste time with that and just have a guideline saying this is what I'm looking for. And the guideline should kind of follow on how you pitch that we went over in the last video, where simple one-sentence description on what is the ask. Second is, how did you come to know me? Third is, what is your expertise? Like, why should I even bother reading further? Then the fourth paragraph is, what exactly, how is this going to benefit me to come on your show? What is the benefit? The fifth paragraph is, what exactly do you want me to do? And then so on and so forth, okay? So you can have a guideline on how somebody should pitch you. So now, let's say at some point you do start receiving pitches. What should you do? Just as I pointed out in the last video, there are really two answers. Yes, with qualifiers, if, when, but, and, all of yes is a great answer, right? If the pitch is really compelling and a person has done the homework and you're impressed, you should say yes. You should allocate 1/10 of your time in a week for these type of pitches. Otherwise, you're not going to grow. You never know what may happen if you say yes. Now, I understand everybody is busy. At least they think they're busy. Maybe they're just not that productive. But I like to allocate at least 4 hours. Let's say I'm working 40 hours, at least 4 hours a week, preferably like what I'm doing right now, Friday afternoon, for these kind of things where I can take calls. I'm pretty much done at this point. It should be sometime in the afternoon where you've done most of your thinking, and now you can allocate maybe 2 hours on Wednesday and maybe 2 hours on Friday, or depending on if you work more than 40 hours, like I'm sure many of us do, that's not that much of a time you're talking about, 4 to 5 hours a week if you're working 50 to 60 hours. And those 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours that you allocate will pay off in a big way, because you never know. Even if you can get one podcast done or one video YouTube interview done for 30 minutes or so, that's that many people that you have an opportunity to reach. And also your content is spreading. More and more people will view it. And plus, when that content is there, you can then market it to other people. So if somebody does my video, for example, my friend Julie, if she does my video, and she obviously has it, she can use it any way she wants. But once she has it, I can also use it any way I want. And I can say, hey, by the way, look at me. Here's this person, Julie. She did an interview with me. Take a look at that. So I'm getting more things, different things for people to look at that keeps me relevant. So don't underestimate the importance of that. Free publicity is a great publicity, because otherwise it costs a lot. Okay? Okay, let's get back to the pitching. What should you do? No matter what, you either are going to answer yes with if, then, but, and whatever, when, or just say no, not now, and give them a simple reason. And that's it. Now, no, not now is a good answer, actually, because what you're telling somebody is like, hey, it's not never, which is, there's no such thing as no, never. No, not now, so that the person knows maybe the pitch wasn't good, or maybe say, listen, right now I have a lot of things on my plate. I can't do it. If you would contact me in another 2 months, that would be great. So I'll give you an example. I contacted two people. One person, I'm pretty sure doesn't want to do it, but didn't say outrightly no. What the person said was, I'm pretty much tied up for the next 6 months, so contact me after the next 6 months, which is kind of like a soft no. 6 months is too far out. But at least I have their email now that I can reach out when 6 months are coming closer, and I say, okay, he did say that. Let's see if this person's for real. Maybe they think that most people will never reply, so I may take them up on that after 6 months, which should be around September, October timeframe. The other person currently that I reached out to is writing a book. And he said, look, I love to do your show, but right now I got to finish my book. So for the next 2 to 3 months, I'm not doing any show till my book is done, and then I'll be happy to. So he had a website where I had to go and fill it out, and I did that. So we'll see. Are these for real or not? He's saying he's for real, but again, we'll find out, and I'll hold him to that. But here's the thing. One thing you don't want to do is do not ignore people who pitch you if it's really targeted and meets all the guidelines. That's a strictly no-no. It's discourteous and it's unprofessional. You don't want to do it. It's better to say no, not now. No, not interested. No, this is not what I'm good at. This is going to be too much work and I don't have time for this. That is good answer. But completely ignoring the person is just unacceptable in my opinion. And, I like to watch movies. And one of the great movies when it comes to pitching is Godfather, first part. If you remember Godfather, when the Godfather is pitching to this producer who is not having his godson, Johnny Fontaine, star in this movie, he sends his consigliere, Tom Hagen, to meet with him. And he had a pitch. Listen, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. I know your business, all of that. And the guy just didn't even listen. He just completely blew him off. And Godfather didn't take it well, and he had his favorite horse, Cartoon, I believe the name was, decapitated and left it on his bed, which is one of the famous scenes from the movie. But it faithfully follows the book, actually. In fact, I have the book right here. So this is the book, and the book actually is much better. You got to get this book. So what the point of that is, when somebody is pitching you something, they have given a lot of thought. You got to take it seriously. Don't just ignore it. Just let the person know that the pitch, you've done all the work. When somebody's pitching you means they've done all the work for you. You now have to either make it, to refuse it, you better make sure that the person is completely way off base, or you just have no time commitment right now where you can make any kind of time commitment. But you at least need to give some sort of a due diligence to pitches that people send you. To completely blow it off is not a good idea, because people take their pitches very seriously, and if you blow it off, you don't know what they may do in the future. Not that they're going to whack you like they do in Godfather, or they decapitate your horse's head, but people don't forget when they've taken time out and pitched you something where they did all the work, and all you had to say was, yeah, let's give it a shot. This might be worth a flyer, or I might do something simple, but let's just do it. So be careful before you say no, because it can come back and hurt you, okay? And in that movie, if you remember, Godfather did not take it well when Tom Volz, the producer, did not accept his pitch. When he had done all the work, all he had to do was give this guy a part, no big deal, right? And the reason why Godfather is so good is because it tells you when you're angry, you get even. And they get even by either, like, killing their horse or killing the person. So then what happens in that movie, if you remember, is this another mobster, a young Turk, his name was Turk actually, Salazzo, comes to Godfather, and he pitches him that he wanted to get into this narcotic business, and he wanted a certain thing from Godfather, his contacts, so that if somebody got arrested, he could help him get out, things like that. He wanted that kind of support from Godfather. And here, Godfather just completely tells him no at the meeting. And Salazzo did not take it well, because he had done all the homework. He had said, look, I've got this taken care of, this taken care of, this taken care of. The only part I don't have taken care of is in case my people get arrested. I need your help. I need to leverage your contacts you established. In the process, you get into this new area of narcotics, which is up and coming area, highly lucrative, and there's going to be plenty of money for everybody. And you don't have to do any work. I'm doing all the heavy lifting. You don't have to use any muscle or anything. I'm going to take care of all that. And Godfather just blew him off. And he did not take it well, because this guy took his pitch seriously. And when people reject your pitch, in his case, he tried to have Godfather killed. It started a war. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen to you when you reject somebody's pitches, but be careful when somebody pitches you something before you say no. People take their pitches very seriously. It's their baby. They've given a lot of thought, and you just can't be flippant about it and saying, who cares? And I know that I've given some pitches to some people that have not even responded, and I'm not going to forget that. I know who they are, and at a given time, I will get back at them if I can. Not that I'm thinking about it, but I don't forget these things. They didn't even respond. So be very careful. Pitches, when you pitch somebody, you have taken a lot of time sending a pitch. When somebody pitches you, give the same amount of time that you expect the other person to give to your pitch. So it works both ways. And if you do that, I think you'll be okay. So pitching is a serious matter. It's not just some quick email you just send out. It's like a lot of information that you're condensing it into something so short that the person will say, yeah, I need to know more about it. Okay, so this pretty much concludes this video, that you got to create a guideline on how you want to be pitched, and when somebody does pitch you, give some consideration, and you do have a right to say no, but only say no if it's absolutely way out of your comfort zone. And if somebody can when somebody's pitching you, you can craft it in a way that works for you. Just say, listen, I would like to do it if you can make it this, this, this. And if that person is willing, then do it. But just to say outrightly no without giving that person. So what I'm trying to say is, don't be the person to say no. Let the other person say no. That's not going to work for me. That's my rule. That when somebody's pitching me something, I will never outrightly say no. I'll say, you know, there's a possibility if you can do A, B, and C. The person says, yeah, I'm willing to do A, B, and C, then do it. Okay? So with this video now, you have two videos, one on how to pitch, and in this video on how you can create guidelines on how you like to be pitched. And then you know what to do after that. And if you take care of these two, you'll be successful. Okay, if you have any ideas, comments, questions, or suggestions, just let me know in the description, on the comment section of this video. And if you ever need any help with any kind of high-stakes speaking, just contact me at Jayoza, Jayyoza, at phytoolgroup.com. That's digit 5, TOOLGROUP.com. Okay, I'll include that also in the description section. And as always, thank you for watching, and good luck.